pressure plate. Now remember that the clutch plate, okay, you must look here, it says gearbox side. Make sure that that section that's raised faces out towards the gearbox. Okay, very important. Clean the surface. We'll clean the surface of the pressure plate so that that oily substance that they put on it to protect it from rusting while it's laying on the shelf. You know, you don't get any problems with that there. Get the dowels to basically fit into each other. Okay, use your pilot tool to center your clutch plate, and then you start putting your screws in, okay, to tighten your pressure plate. And while I normally do it, I normally go crisscross so that it tightens more or less evenly, and you don't tighten the one bolt down all the way. You know, you tighten them evenly, a little bit at a time. Okay, and if you find that your flywheel turns, then what you need to do is you need to have a locking tool. I use a bent valve, which I put into one of the engine bolt holes, and I let the head of the valve basically grip the teeth, you know, of the flywheel, and that generally locks her up nicely for me to tighten these bolts down. So right, I've got my pilot tool in. My pilot tool is basically centering my, my clutch plate. Just doing a double check there. Right, so now I can start tightening evenly. I will not use a air tool here, because that'll be a little dangerous. Okay, so we'll start here. We'll turn this one down a little bit till you feel it starting to compress the pressure plate. We'll go opposite to that. We'll tighten that one. Feel it's going in a little bit there. We go to that one. Then we'll go opposite to that one. Okay, now you see it starting to turn now. Now I'll put my locking unit into position. I can now safely take out the pilot tool out of the way so that I can maneuver my spanner better there. Okay. And this is how you do it, you know, a little bit at a time until they're all tightened down, and then you know, tighten down your pressure plate nice and evenly as well. And then the challenge for me is now to lift this gearbox into this area here, and to get the input shaft to spline properly, you know, without damaging anything. Okay, so now we're starting to tighten. Better just cable tie this out of my way, and otherwise it's going to keep on knocking against the, it's going to keep on, you know, it might just get jammed in there between the engine and the gearbox. Right, let's check if they're all tight. We'll start here. We'll call that 1. Nice and tight. 2. Nice and tight. 3. Nice and tight. 4. 5. 6, check again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice and tight. So now we'll just take out our locking tool. Make sure the plow wheel turns nicely there. Okay, no problem there. So now, the art of putting back the gearbox. Right, so I'm just going to let that camera roll. The clutch is done, the clutch is working fine.